All right, all right, all right. Welcome back to the shit show, where if it doesn't work right the first time, we're doing it right. And the second time. So hopefully it throws it out there and we see the light. Hopefully we see the light. All right. Hopefully you all make it back. We're doing really good there for a while. Had some good people coming in. Welcome back. Welcome back. Apparently that really awesome background that I used, this one right here, takes my processor to a whole new level. So just doing that, it run now I'm at 58%, 37%, 41%. If I take that off, 10, 13, 12. So apparently having that big of a thank you, Mac. Apparently running that awesome background just totally killed my processor. So like this one here's got one too. That's not too bad, 19, 21%. I think there was one on this one of these other ones too. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, apparently that was killing my stuff there. Stream Elements bot is running. Okay. I forgot I had that. Yeah, welcome back, Mac. Welcome back to the shit show. If we're not doing it, we're not doing it right. If we're not doing it right the first time, we're doing it wrong. Hold on. If we are doing it right the first time, we're doing it wrong. I think that sounds better. So, yes. Is the voice working good now? Is it pretty much close? Because I do have it adjusted down now because I was trying to level it out from before. So I'm probably speaking behind myself now. But does it look better? I can run it back up to 0. There we go. That's 0. So my mouth should be pretty close to what I'm saying now. But I can adjust it forward or back. Just let me know which one works the best. Hey, Jackie, how you doing? Welcome to the show. The awesome shit show. Because if it ain't full of, ooh, yeah, we ain't doing it right. So we have the awesome elbow room bar. What is this one here? Earth Cam of New Orleans. What do they got going on in New Orleans? It's not that time of year yet, is it? Everything good, no lagging? Sweet! My processor's hanging in there at 19%, so we're doing good. Yeah, I looked down and it said I was at 100%, and I know this old girl was just trying. Like, it was trying, but it just didn't have what it took. It just didn't have it, So we're going to find I had some chases lined up. Man, I had some chases lined up. I was all excited. Let's see. I wonder if I can get them back. Let me see if I can get them back. Where's my history? I think I'm in the wrong page for that. There it is, history. I had some good chases set up. Man. Ooh, there's a good one. Yeah, there's a good one. So yeah, what you guys want to do? You want to watch a little chase? There's a good one here with a semi truck that I thought was pretty nifty. This guy here in a semi truck thinks he's getting away with something. Yeah, gotta love that. Man, so now I can't get my chat on the screen there. I'm a little bummed about that. It's kind of neat when I was using StreamYard and I'd be able to have the chat on the screen there. I don't see any way to do that on here. I know there is. I just Not smart enough to figure that out, I think. All right, what's this guy doing?
If it hits someone or a vehicle, it certainly could injure them or kill them very quickly. So it's extremely dangerous. There's no question about that. I haven't been able to confirm the units behind it.
Hey, FK, welcome to the show.
Unit from the Inland Empire as well. That's Montana.
Good to see you, bub. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Picked up the semi originally that continued on the freeway, and then now here into the
Yo, come on in.
Yeah, and Scott, I can see that you're trying to have your camera operator zoom in a little bit onto that cab. We cannot really get a good view of what is going on inside there. So I cannot confirm there's someone in that passenger seat. I can only confirm that I saw that the door open up and then close when they were turning onto Orangethorpe Avenue. But again, you know, it's very rare that we see these tractors being pursued. I believe this truck it has at least 10, possibly 12 wheels. Do they try to do a spike strip, an industrial commercial size spike strip? Do you know, Scott?
No, I don't believe so. I think Josh, my cameraman, said he did see a passenger, so he was able to confirm that. It looks like a hand is out of the window right now. I don't believe they'll use a spike strip in a situation like this, at least not initially.
I follow a few YouTubers from California that follow chases. Nice.
But that doesn't mean they could not do it.
Doing good.
But certainly in order to do that, you'd want to make certain that you get this vehicle in an area where you can get the units in front of them.
My Kleenexes right here. Yeah, there's also a box right up there. I think it's on the table behind you.
Oh, it's right here.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll bring him back. It's just her nose.
I got a whole one here.
Okay,
love you. All right, where was I? Sorry about that.
Empire, the I-15, the 60, then to the 57 South, and now down into this Anaheim area just north of the 91. It does not appear that driving extremely erratically or at high rates of speed, but as I mentioned earlier, it's such a big vehicle, the weight and the inertia on a vehicle like that can be so dangerous. But Josh did see someone in that passenger side seat. Their hand was out the window, and I do think now they're hopping on the 91 freeway westbound, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, Josh is correct, because we can see someone, I don't even know if their hand is outside the passenger side. They're sort of tapping it onto the cab
got a passenger in that bad boy?
At first I was thinking, are they trying to do some sort of code? But again,
joining us right now
is Bruce Thomas, our law enforcement expert. Bruce, you join us on a lot
missing
of pursuits.
One. FK
Not
Lynn
many
Mac.
are involving a big
Who's
rig
the third
tractor.
and fourth one?
Can you tell
Jackie.
us what might be going through law enforcement's mind and tactics on how they're
Welcome
going to try
to
pull
the shit
this
show.
driver over?
Yeah,
I'm going to change this whole damn thing to the shit show. It's going to be SCHITT.
On the freeway, which it looks like he may be heading towards. They have
okay,
to
Meadow Dell,
like
welcome to the show. Nice to see you.
Dual tires in the back, two sets, and then one in the front. So the sheer weight of the vehicle is a problem for law enforcement.
No doubt about it. And
you
again,
sent
Scott,
me a
we're
great
seeing
sticker
the
idea.
driver
I am
now
going to
on the
have to check
91.
my mail.
I'm amazed, and I
look
guess
at that.
it's
You even
10:30
got
in
an
the morning.
applause.
Sometimes we do have
How
light
can you
traffic,
forget?
but today was especially
right?
tough on the roads. I feel like
Because
for a
the
lot
name
of
wasn't
commuters,
up on
it
the
was not an
screen.
easy
She
one,
was
and I
sitting
can see that
silent.
This driver really
Silent,
has
I tell you.
the whole freeway to themselves. Well, we're trying to reestablish a connection with Scott Reif and Air 7. And Bruce, you just stay with me. We're talking about it.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think this semi is going to catch fire? I don't know. They seem to do that on police chases. They seem to catch fire. I don't know. Should we... The odds it's going to catch on fire is probably pretty good. Don't know why that screen just did that. Okay, sorry about that. That's what happens when you have 500 screens over here and you're trying to work them all. Jackie Love. Pug, welcome to the show. The shit show. Welcome. I need to get a sound effect that says, welcome. That's what I need to do. So I'm trying to set this all up. Of course, I'm always trying to do something like that because, you know, if I was to actually have everything set the way it should be, when it's supposed to be, I'd never get nowhere. I'd change my mind and be somewhere else already. There it is, soundboard. And I need to search for a welcome. I know which one I'm looking for.
Welcome.
Kind of like that one.
Welcome.
Oh no.
Welcome.
Oh, sorry about that. That shit is loud. Sorry. Let me turn that down. I'll blow you guys' ears out here.
Welcome.
Welcome. Welcome.
I kind of like that one.
Welcome.
Oh, hold on. Oh, man. My nickname used to be Knight Rider, and there's a Knight Rider.
Would you follow me, please?
Well, that's not welcome.
Would you follow me, please?
I'm disappointed.
Welcome. Welcome.
I don't like that one either.
Welcome.
See, that's why I think they will wreck FK, because they won't be able to derive so well. Alright, so I'm going to take that file there, copy it into my sound effects folder, which is here, here, and all of this crap. So we'll paste that in here. I think I have one more slot. What's that? I don't want to take that one off. Hey, what's this? Well, I don't have anything there yet. Perfect. I do now. Alright, so we're going to put welcome here. And we're going to slide this one. We'll just leave that there.
Welcome.
Perfect. That'll work for now. I want to see them try to pit them right.
Yeah, it's interesting. The Fontana units are still behind this semi right here. We're in the Fullerton area. I believe on the freeway they were going to give the jurisdiction to the CHP, and it was on the freeway for a long time. So I think this is somebody that Fontana PD knows. I think they have some information about who the suspect is, and they are staying on it. But you can see all the units behind it. I did not see them or hear about them going into tracking mode, although once you get on the freeway and you start to see speeds a little bit higher with a vehicle like this, you would start to get concerned about the possibility of injuries to someone. Right now we're on surface streets at a fairly low rate of speed. You can tell the vehicle's traveling probably right around the speed limit. That is a green light, making a left turn. We haven't seen the suspect drive through red lights yet. They do stop, which makes us believe they're not, just driving so erratically they don't care about possibly hurting someone or themselves, because when you see that, it gets that erratic, it gets extremely dangerous. You have someone who doesn't care about their own life or the lives of others, then you got to look at these things in a whole different manner. But right now the speeds haven't been too high. We see the driver of this semi able to control the vehicle. We don't see it swerving. It's able to stay in its lane. A lot of times we cover these pursuits and we start to think if alcohol or drugs are concerned in this matter. Now I'm not saying for certain that isn't the case. But there we go again. It looks we're at Fullerton Airport, and we have lost the camera angle once again. We'll have to reset.
Right, and Scott, we have been watching some video where you do see the passengers sort of wedging their door open a little bit and tapping on the cab. I just want to welcome our viewers back again. You're watching an early edition of Eyewitness News.
We're watching the camera go stupid. That's what we're doing. Oh, somebody going to bail? Are they going to bail?
It's a distress call. You don't know if they're just along for the ride. You just don't know.
Yeah, very, very true. We don't know if this person is there willingly or if they're being held against their will type of situation. But
that's a long
Scott's
ways across the
earlier,
cab to hold
I don't know if
somebody
Air
at their
7
will.
HD can pull out. It seemed there were an exorbitant
I know, right?
amount of police vehicles following this big
Be
rig.
like,
A lot
we got
of
one going
undercover
down.
vehicles,
We
too,
got
it
one
appears.
going down.
So, to Scott's point, I don't know if they know something more about this person or the vehicle. Typically in a pursuit, you'll have maybe 3 or 4 police cars, but it looks like there were a lot more than that, undercover
That would
vehicles.
be me if I was
Well, it
in
looks
the
like the
chopper.
driver is coming to a stop.
Maybe stopping.
Yeah, Scott.
There we go. The truck has come to a stop. We're on Commonwealth in the city of Fullerton right now, Anaheim, Fullerton. The door opened there on the driver's side for a moment. You see the canine is up with the dog.
Well,
and
that
I
guy
believe
didn't take
Fontana
no
probably
time
knows
waiting
who
for
this
that
individual
canine,
is. As Bruce
getting that
mentioned,
canine up
there were
there, did he?
6 Fontana patrol cars behind this, and they haven't got other jurisdictions involved, which is somewhat unusual. But right now we have
Dog's
a
like, give me a
standoff.
treat, give me
Behind
a
the
treat.
semi, you see the the Fontana police officers behind their vehicles with a canine ready to go. And right now, more than likely, they're trying to establish communication, get that individual out of that semi, and hope that doesn't happen, that they continue to roll forward. But you have a much better look than I do. Trust me, this monitor isn't that good, but it looks like he may be trying to actually speak with the deputies or the officers behind him.
Yeah, and then you see him kind of slowly
There he
making
goes.
their way, almost waving to him. But what I don't know if you saw, because you have
It's
a
like, I am not
limited
sticking around for
vantage
this.
point where you are, the driver opened the door and then threw something out of the vehicle. We don't exactly know what it was. I don't know if it was a can or if it was a bottle of water. I have no idea. I'm sure police saw it as well, and someone's staying by to see. But again, we saw that driver throw something out, actually open the door and then close the door. I'm not quite sure, but obviously this person is trying to figure out what they're going to do, because if they stop one time, doesn't it seem like they tend to stop a couple times? And I can also bring Bruce Thomas in for that answer as well. Bruce, when a suspect decides that they're going to stop, it seems like they do a little bit more of this cat and mouse game.
Yeah, and that just throws law enforcement,
One time, in the middle of the...
They do have plan B and C for a situation like this. The person stops, then started again, and playing that cat and mouse game. And obviously, law enforcement wants to end this as quick as possible with everybody's safety in mind. But the suspect now is kind of dictating the plan.
No doubt about it. They certainly are. And we see them sort of starting to make some moves that are just showing that they're staying in this area. Scott, it looks like they're not going back to the freeways because they certainly could.
Yeah, they could if they knew where they were going, if the suspect did, if there was any
forgot the
rhyme or reason to
alcohol
this.
or
We're right in the
piss drink.
Fullerton
Oh,
area
man,
now,
I
turning
missed
on to
it.
Commonwealth.
I was looking the other way.
Earlier we did see one undercover, the same units as Bruce was talking about behind it, but there's a lot, and they're all Fontana. They had canine ready to go. I really believe they know who the suspect is. They got a lot of intel on that individual, and Fontana PD is the one who stayed on this the whole time because of that. But really, as you watch these things, I wonder about this. When you see this, you wonder if they know that individual. Talking to that individual.
Well,
How did they get out on social?
Your
Well, they're
video.
just struggle busting.
Yeah, well, it's sort of freezing up a little bit, but we can see a lot of looky-loos sort of trying to communicate with the driver, which is, and then this sort of T-zone. You always get nervous for any innocent driver who doesn't realize there's a pursuit taking place, and most would not think it's involving this kind of vehicle.
Yeah, what's really interesting, Colleen, is nobody knows where this suspect is headed, right? And they just made a turn on Commonwealth, and then, 100 yards down on Commonwealth, there was a group of people there. It's kind of difficult to believe they all came out because they knew the semi was in this area. I mean, we just got into this area. It's possible, but a lot of times when we see a suspect drive by a group of people and they've been driving in an erratic way like this, they went there because they knew those individuals. I certainly don't know that to be the case, but we have been now going around in somewhat of a circle here in the Fullerton area, northern side of Anaheim, and it's the suspect with the semi has stayed in somewhat the same spot. But really right now, as far as what Fontana PD can do, there's not much they can do. They can consider the spike strip. Certainly pit maneuvers completely out of the question. It would not work by any means at all because of the weight of that vehicle. And right now, at least the suspect is not driving extremely erratically. The vehicle's been slowing. It looks like he's making some gestures there with his hand, and we can only hope any moment now we'll get back to where we were before. The suspect will stop. They'll start to get some communication with the officers, and they'll give themselves up. But for now, if this suspect continues
I don't think they're
going
going to get very
north
far
here,
in a
and then
semi
makes another
truck,
right
do you?
turn,
You know?
the semi will be going by that group of people that he drove by earlier. So we'll see. There's the passenger. You can see their hand is out of the window now. I can't tell if it's a man or a woman. You may have a better look in there than I do. But certainly there's not a lot of options for the police department right now when it comes to trying to stop this.
Yeah, I can only see the sort of the forearm, the elbow down, so I can't make out who is in that passenger seat. We also have Bruce Thomas helping us out, a former law enforcement official. Now, Bruce, Scott was saying this. There's, maybe Fontana police have a good idea of who this suspect is. They are obviously pretty proficient with driving this type of vehicle. But when they have the canine showing it right away, don't you have to sort of call? We always seem to be waiting for the canines to show up
Welcome to the
these
show,
pursuits
everybody.
or
There's a
to a
couple more
barricade
people
situation.
came in. Just wanted to say
Yeah,
hello
and when you
to
have some
you.
smaller agencies like that, the canines are part of the regular patrol pattern, so they may have something about the pursuit, excuse me, heard it,
Trying to find
and then
a-
jumped right into the pursuit as maybe a
kinda
fourth or
sound,
fifth
but-
vehicle, and therefore that resource, the canine, is available for deployment.
Right. Also, we have some video we wanted to show you when we were saying that the driver did stop at one moment on Commonwealth Avenue and then open the door and then through this piece of, we don't know what it was, but then it just continues to roll, and then another vehicle is going to come up. You see the canine right there. You're going to see another vehicle, another
we go.
Fontana
Should I
police
use
officer
that
goes
one?
right up next to whatever was thrown out. So I think they must have known, because that whatever that is, it rolled for quite some time. And I feel like it might be a liquid, because I feel like there's a little trail of liquid. But again, I'm not sure. But you saw that the Belgian
Corey, what's
Malinois, their
happening?
police dog right there, ready to help assist, as it is considered another police officer as part of this pursuit. But we see, Scott, you're right there as well. You're seeing this driver now is in. Is this Artesia?
Well, they're now on Firestone Boulevard. They got off the freeway at Artesia.
I thought he
Now
was
they're
saying he was
Firestone
on
Boulevard.
fire. I was like,
and
holy
actually
crap.
turning on to Artesia Boulevard.
I was like,
now
already?
and crossing underneath the 91 freeway. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly underneath the 5 freeway. It's going to be interesting to see exactly where they head from this point. They head back to where they were before. It's unusual, though, just because, I mean, the canine you could have, like Bruce said, I totally agree with that. There may be units that just came in this, but in a lot of cases, you'll have the authority let the city take over. Like, for instance, I mean, Fontana's a ways from here, but they're still the unit in control here. They're the ones that are following this, and they're not even handing it over to CHP. They have some intel. There is one that appears under control, a vehicle, unmarked vehicle behind this suspect as well, with all the Fontana police officers. But we're on to Knott Avenue now. We're still basically in the Fullerton area, right by the 5 freeway. We don't see the vehicle traveling at a high rate of speed. That certainly is a fantastic thing, because if you saw speeds that were high with a vehicle like that, it would certainly be extremely
Welcome
dangerous.
to the show.
But as I mentioned earlier, I don't know
shit
there's
show,
much in the way
Corey.
of tactics at this point. There's not much that you can
Good to see
do
ya.
to try and stop this. At the range of a truck like this, I mean, their gas tanks are huge, and without pulling, the trailer, which is heavy, they might be able to drive, half a day.
Gas
I'm not sure you
prices
might
or
get 10
diesel
hours out
prices,
of
do
it
you
if
really
the
think that
tanks are
dude's
full.
going to have
I don't
a
want to
full
interrupt
tank
you,
of fuel?
Looking at that, you just
but
never
I-
know.
Come on.
but
The
I
door
am.
is
The
open.
keep
The door is
doors-
open. Did
yeah.
you see that?
It's been opening a few times while you were just talking, so that's why I interrupted you. So again,
Okay.
all eyes are sort of on this passenger, because we do not know what their state of mind is and their situation. Again, we did have a preliminary report that may have said that the passenger is being held against their will. And that also, Scott, at one point, the CHP, they were trying to back off on this. So maybe that's the reason why they've stayed
Okay,
engaged.
that's not supposed.
I know what's wrong with it. Ain't got no gas in it.
Hand it off to the authority like Fullerton PD in this area that's a lot more familiar with the streets. But Fontana is staying on it.
It ain't got no gas in it.
So it's hard to say. And that initial information that
That's
I got
what it's going to be like soon.
A report that possibly the individual in the passenger seat might be held against their will. We really
Ain't got no gas in it.
We saw the door kind of open. It almost looked like somebody was trying to get out. It looked like maybe that report might have been accurate. It's just hard to say, but we certainly don't have confirmation of that.
This is quite
And it looks
interesting.
Like if we, they're continuing on Knott. They're headed southbound. We're headed towards the Knott's Berry Farm right now, if you're familiar with this area. And at least the suspect is driving slowly and for the moment in just the right lane.
Yeah, and Scott, I believe we are getting confirmation from
Ain't got no gas in it.
that there is somebody in that cab who is in there against their will. So we're still, this is a very fluid breaking news story, but I want to bring back in Bruce Thomas to talk to us about how, again, Scott has touched on it a couple times, why Fontana Police is the lead agency on this when this keeps to going onto the freeway and goes into the other areas, you know, in Anaheim. So can you tell us a little bit more about that part of
What do you think, Corey? Is it going to catch on fire?
Yeah, you know, the other
See, about 6
which
miles
we
per
haven't
gallon
talked
and
about
maybe
is
160
Montana PD
gallons
has
if
a
you had
limited
a
amount of
full tank
resources.
of diesel.
And it seems like, I would say probably a good chunk of
that's
their
a few
resources
miles.
are involved in this pursuit, which is a drain for the city not
They'll
being
throw
able
some
to
spikes
handle
out there,
emergent
though,
and
and then he'll be on
non-emergent
flat
calls.
tires.
And to Scott's point, why
You know
they
how
haven't
that goes.
transitioned to CHP or the local agencies is very perplexing. We did see it looked like CHP was in the area possibly to deploy a spike strip, but as Scott said, this vehicle is very problematic. You can't do a pit maneuver. The weight of the vehicle is too much. So the only option you have is a spike strip.
It weighs too much. It don't have a trailer. That thing is light as can be.
Yeah, we are actually looking at seeing this tractor is on the 91 East, but you know, they have a lot of areas that they could take pretty soon within maybe even the 5. It is interesting to see that the CHP is so far not engaged in this pursuit. Scott, you're overhead. You're seeing where they're going. Again, very light traffic for 10:50 just before 11 a.m. But again, we are following this pursuit. It's very dangerous. I don't know what vehicle is going up beside it and almost about to pass it. Is that a CHP officer?
Pulled up on him.
Is that a CHP officer?
Yeah, well, that's a CHP unit right there that pulled up very quickly.
Yeah.
And it's almost like CHP was saying, I want to get a look inside the vehicle. I want to get up there and see what we're dealing with in case CHP takes over. I only see that one. That also, I think that's the undercover vehicle right there. So you see that silver vehicle? That might have been one of the vehicles I've seen this whole time. And maybe they're trying to drive by and get a look. It looks like the vehicle that was an undercover vehicle that we saw initially behind all the Fontana PD cars. I don't know for sure, but that certainly could have been them trying to drive by and get a look. And then the CHP came up very quickly. We've heard that CHP has been notified, and then we saw the CHP there. You can see him speeding up and driving by the semi.
Oh, one car is
the
going
CHP
by.
could be thinking there's very little traffic here on the 91 freeway. Headed eastbound. We're crossing over the 5. Maybe they're going to try and get up ahead and deploy the spike strip. They can do that. If they can control the traffic,
he's going to go get the spike strips ready.
They can get a unit hiding behind a sign or behind a vehicle and then throw out the spike strip in front of that semi. So that's a good possibility. The reason that's possible is the suspect is driving at a much slower rate than the speed limit. So unless a vehicle comes up and passes that semi, that's why I thought that other undercover vehicle vehicle went by was undercover because nobody's going to cross all these police officers and then drive by that semi. There are 5 or 6 Montana PD units, there's a CHP unit, and so if you're going to drive that close, more than likely you're involved. But you got another CHP unit you're going to see here in just a moment.
Ooh, wow, this guy's insane.
Open them out of your shot.
And there was another one that
flying
passed
by right there.
Yeah, there's a couple that have passed by.
Yeah, so I think they're just trying to figure out what they can.
No what?
Obviously, there's not a lot of things they can do. One freeway. They're still headed eastbound. They're going to come back up on Brookhurst here in a moment, I believe. The suspect had gotten off on Brookhurst a moment ago. So we're just going to have to keep an eye on this and see what happens. But the speeds haven't been erratic, and that's good news as far as safety is concerned. But
I
as
wasn't
far
finding what
as
I was looking for.
strategy,
Not
it's
sure
gonna
if
be
spike strip will
interesting
puncture that
exactly what
heavy
they try to do
semi-tire.
here,
I'm sure
whether
it
CHP
will.
takes over or Fontana just continues to
I
follow.
would think so.
Right, and just their strategy of trying to figure out how do you pull this vehicle over. Again, we do have Bruce Thomas on the line as well.
That's a lot of nuts!
We are seeing the CHP possibly getting engaged in this. At least we see more activity with the CHP, but now it looks like this driver is going to be taking the Brookhurst Road exit from the 91 East. I don't know how they end up the jockeying between the agencies, Bruce. What do you think the CHP, their watch command?
That guy's like, let me out, man.
You see the passenger side door. Every time this tractor sort of starts to stop, that door opens. But when that driver actually pulled over,
he's opening the door.
probably about 10, 15 minutes ago, that passenger did not get out of the vehicle. So I'm not quite sure why their behavior is what it is right now. But again, Bruce, you can see we have the Fontana Police Department. We also have the CHP kind of doing a real fast flyby almost to take a look inside. What do you think they're coordinating right now?
Well, I think what CHP was doing, what we've seen the last couple of freeway pursuits, is they clear traffic for an operational area for the spike strip deployment. So I think that's what their plan was. Unfortunately, the suspect got off the freeway and is back on surface streets. But as Scott said, I'm very perplexed too why they haven't handed it off to a local jurisdiction who's familiar with the area in case it does go to a foot bail or even a barricade situation. They're going to have to call in those local resources.
You got to keep opening that door because
we're seeing the driver taking a right here from Brookhurst onto La Palma Avenue. Again, this is in the West Anaheim area. You can see from SkyMap 7, which is such an incredible resource we have on board Air 7. Bruce, again, now they're look like they're popping back onto the freeway as SkyMap 7 sort of, it looks like the 5 they're going to be getting on. And of course,
right now?
This is a very heavily traveled artery in our area.
Yeah, CHP, if they're going to deploy a spike strip, is going to have to control the traffic. And that's going to take at least maybe 3 or 4 units. Are they in position? It seems like they were in the beginning of this, earlier before you got off the freeway.
CHP closing the distance now.
A Tesla? No way.
Yeah, and this driver just determined to get away.
Run, bitch! Run!
This angle, if there is a passenger in there. And again, unclear what the one is.
Oh, yeah, we got a Chase has got it on, doesn't he?
Closing the gap as this driver makes a right turn onto Natoma Avenue off of Magnolia. And we're getting some new information out from the desk. Apparently the initial want here, before failure to yield, of course, was reckless driving.
I wish I could change the name of
this
the
driver
stream.
went through, reportedly, a freeway closure. And you saw they were blowing through that stop sign. CHP still behind it in hot pursuit. They've got airships over this as well. You see that spotlight from overhead. He's now speeding through this residential area. You see these other cars parked out along these driveways. I don't believe a pit maneuver is going to be safe here with so many other cars.
This guy's got it going on.
So I don't know what the plan is. I don't know where this driver is leading the CHP units, but 2-3 units right on this white sedan's tail as he makes a left turn now onto Whitley and then a right turn onto Newland, disregarding not just stop signs and closures, but lane markings here. Slowing down a little bit. Let's see if this driver is making any moves to pull over. Now he was just coming up on traffic. Corner of Newland and Bolsa, going right through this intersection, not making a turn here.
Tesla just hit the brakes in
And again,
front of
that
it.
new information, the initial want
Will
here.
stop it.
Before
Yeah,
Anaheim
that's only
police
if
had
it's
their
on
helicopter
auto,
following
though,
this
isn't it?
driver. Initial want was reckless driving. Certainly seen a bit of that here as this driver makes yet another turn, just circling this residential area now. Don't know if he or she might be familiar with this area and where this chase might be headed, but making this precarious left turn now with CHP. This
Be a plot
cruiser
twist.
right
Nobody in the
next
car.
to the suspect vehicle. That could have been a close call, but fortunately they both slowed down. Haven't seen too many near misses here, but definitely seen that reckless driving that led CHP to pursue this white sedan. And again, it was westbound on the 91. It started in Anaheim Hills when we first heard about this, before turning south on the 55 and then west on the 22. So at least 3 freeways now this driver has led CHP on during this pursuit. And just pausing momentarily at that stop sign. And actually making that left turn now from the correct lane. But back on Newland Street, we were just here a moment ago. Not sure what the game plan is, not sure where this driver might be headed.
There we go. Updated it to live chase. 'Cause that's how we do it. Tesla's going to run out of extension cord real soon.
And veering into that left turn lane now. Let's see if this driver actually makes that turn. Yeah, and it's on a green light. I think CHP had an opportunity there to attempt a pit maneuver if they wanted. They did not go for it. They might be doing that now as this driver continues turning, creating these opportunities for CHP to pit the car. They haven't done it yet, but they have been authorized, and this is probably the safest place to do it in one of those intersections where you don't see all of these parked cars. Turning into, is that a driveway? No, turning into an alley now. No, turning into a driveway. I don't know if this driver is going to hop out and try and make a run for it, but he has just boxed himself in.
Well, it looks like he's got another Tesla there. Either the car knew where it was going, or he's got two of them.
This is a bizarre ending to a pursuit that's gone on through how many? 3 freeways and a number of city streets now. But this driver just parked in a driveway in front of this garage next to another white Tesla. Yeah, I see that driver's side door opening. Driver getting out. One hand up, holding what looks like a sweatshirt in his other hand. 2 hands up now.
Dang, I forgot my garage door opener.
I think he might have led CHP home, and he's now surrendering.
Oh, he's telling somebody in the house,
garage.
hey, you're not going to believe this.
Fuck
me. Yeah, he did. That's a bummer. Dude, how are you just going to lead him to your house like that?
And bear with us here as we reposition. You saw the other helicopters flying through the shot. There's a lot of air traffic over this, and you see the massive CHP response on the ground as well after this pursuit driver who started westbound on the 91 in Anaheim Hills, went down the 55, westbound on the 22, and then exited in Garden Grove before leading CHP
all the lights are pretty.
to a house in Midway City. He's now standing next to this white Tesla. He's got his hands up, and he is walking toward officers preparing to give it up. I did not see this coming after
He's gonna be giving it up
the
tonight.
desperate driving we saw. Looks like he was really trying to get away.
Route 66.
But here he is giving it up.
California.
After this chase started over reckless driving.
Yeah. 2 Teslas.
looks like this is ending peacefully, ending safely as they take this driver into custody. We are headed back to breaking news in Long Beach. So, thank you for streaming with us. We'll be right back.
Well, that was a bunch of cowpucky.
So I think CHP is going to get him back involved.
We'll get back
again.
to this one here.
Yeah, it's changing freeways. But again, Scott, you're right there. It looked like they were on the 5, but they might be taking that 91 again.
No, they're on the 5 northbound. There was on the 91 east, got off at Brookhurst, and got off just in time because the 2 or 3 CHP vehicles that sped by this vehicle on the 91, a quarter mile up ahead, they had the units on the shoulder, and they were getting ready to throw out the spike strip. It's much easier to control traffic behind a pursuit like this when the suspect's driving way below the speed limit, because nobody really, for the most part, are they going to allow to come up behind them. And then you have a lot of room in front of you, right? Because all the traffic traveling faster than the suspect is pulling away, and they try and stop all the other vehicles from moving up and passing this one. We're on the 5 northbound, and, you know, we went through this area, I would say, about 30 minutes ago, this same area, and traffic was stopped, but it's thinned out. It's just that time of the morning where all of a sudden now, later in the morning, the 5 freeway doesn't look too bad. We're on the 5 northbound, crossing the 91.
Twitter.
Shot just a little bit, if you would, Josh. You'll see the helicopter down below on the bottom of your screen there. Keep an eye. But you also have these 5 or 6, actually I count them 7, Fontana PD units still on this, and they are relentless. There's not much they can do but follow along at this point in time. They're trying to stop all traffic behind the suspect from continuing past them. Every now and then I'll see a vehicle, though, and I'm just astonished that they really think they're going to go in between these PD cars and get in front of them. But right now we're on the northbound 5. We're still in Fullerton. We're headed up into Buena Park. And it wouldn't surprise me if the suspect gets off the freeway once again at this spot and then makes himself back to the area that he was earlier. And sure, that's the off-ramp there. I think we got off on this off-ramp earlier. It might be Artesia, if I'm not mistaken. We were on La Palma for a moment, then back on Brookhurst. So we are seeing a pattern, and when you see patterns, it is easier to set up spike strips, because when patterns happen, you can think, well, if he heads back to the same spot, we'll get a unit to hide with a spike strip and maybe throw it out. So that will help. But besides that, I don't see that there's much in the way of strategy to stop this until the suspect gives up or runs out of fuel.
Yeah, you were just saying something. I was listening to our producer as we get ready for the 11 a.m. newscast. Again, you are watching a special edition of Eyewitness News at 11. But you were talking about the fuel. How these I mean, they are long haul. These vehicles are meant for long haul rides, and they could have been completely full, and we don't know exactly what is going on. I feel for the CHP who on the 5 and on the 91 trying to figure out, is this driver going to go back onto the freeway, and if they're trying to get ahead of it, it's very complicated.
45. Yeah, and we're back in the same spot. If you've been with us for a while, then you've seen the semi turn onto Commonwealth before. And it's not far from here, that spot where the semi drove by a surface street. I forget the name of that street, but it was in a residential area almost. And we had half a dozen people come out and try and get their attention and wave at them. So it's hard to believe that they were just out because of social media and knew he was heading in that direction. So we could see there's some people out on the street there. This could be the same spot we were at before. Right. Boy, they want to get out, or they want to grab something from that vehicle or put something on top.
They grabbed something from the very top. Grabbed
something.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
We never see this.
Oh,
that was a SWAT vehicle that just slammed into the semi on the side.
Now he's leaking
Came out
diesel
of nowhere. We didn't even see that vehicle. We hadn't known it was here. And they came in and just slammed into the side of that semi with their armored vehicles. So now you have 2 vehicles, and they're both really heavy. I'm not sure. I've never seen it, but maybe they can do a pit maneuver with that armored vehicle. If the semi tries to make a turn at a slow enough rate of speed, and they can get behind it and hit the rear, they can get it to spin out. There's no way with the center of gravity on a semi like this, a tractor portion, that it's going to overturn as long as it doesn't have too high a rate of speed. But if he comes up behind it right now and he makes a turn, and he can tap them right in the rear of the
Don't
vehicle.
pit
He
him
could possibly
yet.
get him to spin out. But one of the reasons I don't think he did that, there was a vehicle in that intersection, and with two heavy vehicles, that's extremely dangerous. But wow, we saw that came out of nowhere. I did not see that coming when the armored vehicle slammed into that semi.
That was unbelievable. That came really, it was a shock. And again, I've never seen an armored vehicle attempt to do a pit maneuver or at least get so involved with one of these chases. But now you have that armored vehicle following this tractor, but again, it's very, very interesting.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Again, I want to welcome our viewers. You are watching Eyewitness News at 11 a.m.
The
I'm
balancing
Sullivan.
hose
Philip Palmer is
them.
also with us. You obviously know Scott Reif is with us, as well as Bruce Thomas.
Open up a little bit.
We're following this pursuit. We've been following for a good part of the last 40 minutes or so, 45 minutes, where we know that this is a stolen tractor. We know that there is a passenger inside there. We have been confirmed from the CHP that there is a passenger who's being held against their will.
What's that guy doing?
Now you're seeing
they know who
this.
This guy is.
Exactly, Scott. You know, Philip, if you want to join us.
Well, I was going to say we learned a lot in the last couple of minutes.
Was in the left lane and just made a right
turn. I don't know
turn.
that person is being held against their will, given the fact that they reached out, grabbed something, got back into the car. So. That might have changed things.
What's
and we've seen
happening?
that they are ready to stop this chase. As Scott zoomed in a moment ago, you can see the damage done to one of the fuel tanks on the back.
It's not.
From
It
where
was.
the,
that live
the
is
SWAT
over.
vehicle hit it. On the other side, Scott, we could see that it basically crushed that tank.
Yeah, but we didn't see anything come out of it, so we
No,
didn't
if
see
it's
it lose
empty,
a lot of fuel.
Yeah, if it was already empty, who knows?
We're back in the same spot, though, Philip, and, you know, we're following along just watching the semi like this. It started to slow, and then out of nowhere, it wasn't behind him, out of nowhere came that armored vehicle and slammed right into the side. Obviously, they were hoping they could have done enough damage right there or pinned the vehicle, so this would have been over. But we're in a residential area now. This is really frightening. You know, you got a lot of vehicles out here. You've got kids that could be out playing. We don't see high rates of speed, but, you know, you can't just hit the brakes on that semi and expect it, the semi-tractor, and expect it to stop real quick. Here might be a pit maneuver. I really believe they're thinking about it. They just need an area that is safe, and then that semi-tractor to make a turn at a slow enough rate of speed where they can hit it from behind and get that spun out,
got a good
and then hopefully get them
connection
to
there.
stop. But, boy, certainly, Philip, you can't get this to stop. If they want to continue on, they can go back through vehicles. They can continue up onto the sidewalk. It's really difficult to stop this, but now we know the strategy, a pit maneuver or even ramming that tractor.
Well, that's the thing.
Ramming.
Clearly, at a high rate of speed, this vehicle would cause a lot of damage. But even at very, very low speeds, it can just plow through things. I'd like to show that video one more time that we were just looking at. This is what I'm talking about. See how he reached out and he got back in. So that's what made me think, okay, this is no longer a person against their will. He is a participant. Now, I could be wrong. Clearly, he could have been coerced to do that. But something was on the roof of that vehicle that he very specifically reached out, got it, and that's when they took their shot, is when they tried to move him over. But now if Bruce is still around, you know, Bruce, that gives the person in the cab of that truck an idea as to also what the police are thinking when they go that aggressively to try to get him to stop.
Yeah, Philip, you know, I have actually never seen a ramming.
They keep playing that. They are proud of that moment, aren't they?
But I think what they determined is there was no way to stop this big rig cab without. I mean, you can't do a pit maneuver with a regular police car. So having a Bearcat is what they need.
Here we go, Bruce. We're going to interrupt you and go back to Scott.
Don't do it.
Oh, they pinned him in. That's an undercover vehicle. They're out of their cars. Their guns are going to be drawn. They have him pinned somewhat, but with a semi-tractor like that, if he puts it in reverse, he'll just push those vehicles behind him away. But right now they've got him surrounded. The Bearcat pulled in front just moments ago. We're at Franklin and Beach Street in the Anaheim area. And at least for now, what we have is a standoff. And we haven't seen the suspects try and drive that vehicle ever since the Bearcat pulled in front. But you see the undercover vehicles. There's 3 of them there. There's more Fontana PD. This is a caper I'm sure they were on way back in Fontana. They know who this individual is. They're not going to let him get away. They're not going to let him make a run for it. I have suspect that this is a hardened criminal. They've been following and they want, and they're going to take him into custody. And right now we just have a standoff. But look at all the Fontana PD officers. And he's getting out. It looks like the door is opening right now. It's a critical moment.
Scott, you may not be able to see it, but the passenger is also out, hands up.
Right.
So that person on the other side is out right now, and then now they're trying to get to the driver.
Yeah, this is a critical moment right now when the driver gets out. They don't know what they're dealing with, but if this driver makes a sudden move,
Megan,
they have guns drawn on this individual. And right now it looks like he is cooperating with their commands. He's probably going to back up, maybe open his shirt up or pull it up to make sure there's nothing in his waistband, but more than likely he'll be down on the ground here in a moment. And at this point in time, we don't know what they think about the passenger, if that's a suspect or if that is someone, as we mentioned, may have been held against their will. That will depend on how they treat that individual, but they have to get that person in custody. They have, and now you can see they're moving on to the passenger, and the passenger does not appear to be an individual that was held against their power or kidnapped and wants to give themselves up. It looks like they're actually not obeying the commands of officers right now. They have their guns drawn on that individual. This is a scary moment. Be careful here, Josh. If they have to open fire, which they look pretty intense right now, and it doesn't look like the passenger is just willingly giving themselves up.
Yeah, but we did see that passenger open the door right away once that tractor was surrounded and pinned.
Little bummed
that
by
door
that.
opened, those two hands came up, so they have been right there. So we're not quite sure because we obviously don't have ears on the ground to see if that person is not doing the commands. But again, we're obviously, they are very careful, and you can see what a powerful show of force because you see so many of the undercover cars that were involved because at first, Philip, we just thought maybe there was one or two, but to see so many swarm right into this location, really unbelievable.
Well, at that spot where they aggressively slammed into the side, it almost looked as if there was an undercover SUV in that parking lot because they actually ran into that. But this is an interesting thing because he's got something in his hand.
Right.
And he's not letting that go. So they can actually, it seems to me, have cleared the cab of a third person. It seems as if that is also something they needed to make sure they did. So now you've got this one person, and they're not going to get on the other side because you don't want to put others in the line of fire. So now here he comes, and he's putting whatever that is on the ground. That might be what he picked up off of the roof of that vehicle.
I'm not quite sure, but we'll obviously keep looking at that video. But you can see now this person is certainly obeying the commands. When you have that many guns drawn at you, I think you're going to do exactly what you're told and not put up a fight. But we saw them.
Let me guess.
These suspects get very
we got
close
a chase
because
they're still on.
And then
that was a short chase.
You know, in a second we're going to see them push right in and put them right on the ground there.
That was a really short chase.
What was also very interesting to me, when you try to put yourself in the mind of these two people, when that SWAT vehicle pulled around in front and that officer had rifle trained right through that front windshield in the direction at them, that pretty much changed everything because if you notice that SWAT right out of the top hatch, there was an officer right there, and he had his weapon pointed straight through the front windshield. So that's going to change your demeanor very quickly. And it looked like that's what put this. That's what ended this. Without further incident.
Absolutely. You know, we have been watching this pursuit, and you know, I don't want to not kind of discuss the one moment when you saw that Bearcat ram the tractor at the very beginning when we saw the Bearcat being introduced to part of this pursuit.
Oh, we can cut this one off pretty soon.
There was somebody inside that it looked like
been on for an
it was
hour
a large
already, so,
black SUV, and they were parked there. You know, they didn't even see it coming. I was thinking they certainly weren't in park. Or maybe that car wouldn't have been able to be pushed forward. So we'll certainly find out how that car is doing. But I don't think they suffered any injuries but they had to be so startled. It just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, that was the vehicle. If we have that video, I wasn't positive, but that was the vehicle that I thought, because look at how many officers are here. Maybe that black SUV was also another undercover officer. Maybe it was not. You're right. It could have been. This is right. So this person grabbed something off the roof there.
Looked like a little
and then here's where the impact is coming. And they just slammed into that vehicle, which made me think.
And then
maybe,
that vehicle
but
slammed
you're right,
into the other
it could have
vehicle.
just been a person sitting there.
Yeah, because it had like such a nice.
You know, if I'm not mistaken, aren't they not like see that right there? They're not liable to fix that, are they? The police department? I think if it's like in the middle of his chase or something, they don't have to do anything about it. If the police department themselves hit a vehicle, I think they have to, but I don't know if they have to do anything if it's not directly impacted by them. I know a buddy of mine had his cousin was driving down the highway one day, and all of a sudden a clipboard flew off of a police car or some shit. scratched his Camaro all up, and they had to put a brand new paint job on that bad boy. Yeah. Got some stuff going on here in the elbow room. Oh, it looks like they're jamming out. I wish we can get sound in the elbow room. That'd be so nice. Somebody needs to go to the elbow room and set up a microphone. That'd be nice. Wrench says, no, they do not. But they can push the issue and get the cops to pay for it. Oh, that would be nice. That would definitely be nice. Look at the Mardi Gras cam. I don't know if it's Mardi Gras or not, but it's New Orleans. New Orleans. It's New Orleans right here. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But it's not the same if I play my own music or my own, the copyright-free music. It just doesn't have the whole same vibe, But I guess I could always play that. Oh, not supposed to do that. Holy crap. Nah, doesn't have the same vibe. This camera's on the second floor, too. I didn't even notice that. Like, balcony. That's kind of neat. Heck yeah. So, remember, Monday is my birthday. You can send your gifts to my Cash App. There you go. There you go, Wrench. I would highlight that if I could, but I'm on the wrong app. All right. We had some technical difficulties earlier, and that stopped me from being able to use that at the moment. Because who would have known that if I had used an active background, that it makes my processor go stupid. So if I use this one, see, now my processor's at 100%. My processor's it'll just start lagging really bad, so that's horrible. Rick can do it for all of us. Yeah, right. No. Let's see. I need to put something on here. This one's not so bad. That one has nothing. This one's just the standard. I'm missing one. I think I'm missing... No, not that one. I'm not sure. I was missing one somewhere. But yeah, happy early birthday. Is it right now your birthday, or is it Sunday? Because right now it's Saturday. Today is the anniversary of my mother's death, and tomorrow Jillian's death. This totally sucks. Oh, sorry to hear that, bud. Damn your steam-powered computer. I know, right? It's sitting over here just trying to hump along. I don't even have the sign on it. It warms this room up nice. As soon as I walk out of this room, it's like, holy crap, the house is cold. But it's not cold. It's just the fact that it's, I don't know, like 75 degrees in here, 72 in the house. Tiger King. Yeah. So, who else is live right now? Mayor? Anybody got anything live going on? I think my daughter's got one of them. Is that a gerbil? It's not a mouse. Looks like a mouse with no tail, kind of. But it's small. Better than a house that feels like 50 degrees. True. John is John Linda. We got a Chase is live. Yep, John Lindy. Wow. I figured they'd be off already. Holy smokes. They're doing it up good tonight. All right, guys. Well, I'll kick this off. I got up at 4:30 this morning, so I'm going to head out to my room, and I'm going to, we got a Chases also. I'm going to go to my room and, turn one of these streams on and watch with you guys. So, let's do that. Let's all go over to this channel right here. If you're not already there, you could already be there, but go to this channel anyway. If you're not there, and let's go hang out with them. So we'll see you all tomorrow. Night. Message me sometime. Oh. Gotta get the farts in there. I got a few of them. Oh, rough stuff. Oh, man. You all have a wonderful night. I still like this one. Me! And on that note, love you guys.